Hey, what's up, Otakumike here. Let's talk about Deathstroke, the Terminator, issue number 1. Warning, there will be spoilers and a lot of dead bodies. Our story starts out with Deathstroke, aka Slade Wilson, on a job. He is currently trying to fulfill this contract he has been hired for, except he doesn't know who he's actually going to be killing. Find out that this kind of job is called a blind drop, which Slade hates these kind of jobs, and he is currently getting set up to complete this job and surveying the area, trying to figure out who he actually has to kill. Through the descriptions that Wintergreen, his handler, gives to him, we find out that the person of interest is 47, white male, divorced, dad of 3, just like Slade Wilson is, so they have something in common there. Wintergreen actually starts talking to Slade, and he's like, "Hey Slade, I saw Rose today, and you really need to repair your relationship with Rose." And Slade's like, not right now. Not while I'm on a job. I'm not going to think about that kind of stuff. I just want to focus on the job. And Wintergreen says, "Look, our client has a request. He wants you to do this silent but deadly." And Slade's like, I don't do that. I am a loud assassin. Which leads Slade to drive a giant truck off of the top of a parking garage and blows a lot of shit up. As Deathstroke is making his way into the facility to find the target he is here to eliminate, bodies are dropping left and right. He is not letting anybody live at this moment. He ends up getting blindsided by this superhero duo named Body Double. They apparently have some kind of healing factor here and there. Slade ends up finding this out from Wintergreen, and he's like, "Oh good, I don't have to hold back." Slade Wilson was apparently holding back at this moment. Who would have thought? Deathstroke ends up taking out the duo known as Body Double out in a stylish, bloody fashion, I might add. He ends up making it to the room where the supposed target is located that he is sent here to kill, and he finds out that his target is Wintergreen. Slade is shocked to see Wintergreen here, because who has he been talking to this whole time on this mission? Wintergreen is beaten, bloodied, and knocked out, tied up to a chair. He has a note attached to him that says, "Slade, I will take everything from you." And there's a computer next to Wintergreen that starts accessing all these files and accounts that Slade has, and the accounts start draining to zero. His money is gone. Somebody has gotten to Wintergreen and to all of Slade's accounts. They are going to take everything from him, as well as his life, because the building explodes. Our comic actually ends with Slade Wilson emerging from the rubble saying, "Someone has taken my best friend away from me and my money away from me. I used to be a killer, but now I'm something more." Alright, so let's take a look at the internal artwork for this issue. Here is your creative team right there. Give them all the love and respect that they deserve, because they hit this issue out of the park art-wise. It is such a well done issue. I specifically love this part where we see all of his weapons. Deathstroke is overcompensating for something, I feel like. Maybe not, I don't know. But this is a very well done first issue with the art. Like, it is amazing. It is very frantic, very action-packed first issue. That's one thing this issue does very well, is the fact that, you know, there's a lot of explosions, there's a lot of violence, and there's a lot of dead bodies. Very much fan service if you really like all of the action. This is probably one of my favorite parts of the issue, is where we see this security guard. He gets a phone call and he's like, "Oh, Deathstroke is here. What? I'm gonna go on my 15-minute break now." I hope that security guard ended up surviving, because not many people ended up surviving in this issue. It is definitely a bloody mess, and all the bodies definitely hit the floor in this issue. But man, the colors, everything just pops in this issue. So, what are my thoughts on Deathstroke the Terminator issue number 1? Was a fun first read. It was very action-packed and kept the story moving in this first issue, which I personally really liked. We did get little snippets here and there on like his past, which I'm glad they included in this, because I personally do not know really anything about Deathstroke other than the fact from the stuff that is mentioned in the Teen Titans TV show from the early 2000s. So this is a fun jumping on point for me as a new reader. I really did like this. They take Deathstroke into some very interesting places in this issue where we're dealing with the fact that, he is an absentee father. He has this estranged relationship from his children. I really liked that. I really focused on that, which I hope they end up actually exploring in the future, which I think they will be exploring in the future with Rose Wilson, his daughter, because R.I.P. Wintergreen, I'm sad to see him go in this issue, but I really did like that dynamic that him and Slade had in this, and I think moving forward that they will be putting Rose in that position of having her be Slade's handler when he's out on missions. I find that to be a very fun, interesting dynamic, and it could go to some interesting situations. And I also really, really liked the fact that they took everything away from Slade. Now, I know that it has been done before with like Iron Man. I think Batman has had everything taken away from him. So seeing Slade have that taken away from him is very interesting because he is not a superhero. He's a very, very bad guy, and he's done some very horrible things. So seeing what he is going to do, because this seems to be a very personable story, and I want to see like where this takes the character. Will he have some sort of redemption arc and maybe have a change of heart and be maybe a good guy? I don't know. But that would be kind of cool to see like where this takes the character, and we grow the character, because he's like an onion. He has very many layers to him as a character. Something I really didn't really care for, which I think they introduced these characters in this issue. I thought the moment was kind of funny, but the characters of Body Doubles, that little duo superhero group that they had, I didn't really think they needed them in this book. They were kind of just wasted, and I hope I kind of never see them again, because I thought they were kind of lame. But other than that, I really did enjoy this issue. It was a lot of fun. But I would love to hear your thoughts down below. I'm Otakumike. Peace out, stay safe, go read some comic books.